الحمد لله رب العالمين له الحمد الحسن والثناء الجميل وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه والتابعين لهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. This is inshallah ta'ala our second lesson for the kitab Muqaddimatul Ajrumiyyah. We were in the introduction last lesson of the book, and we divided the Arabic speech into three, right? So what did we say the Arabic speech is divided into? The kalima in the Arabic language? Yeah? How many do we divide Arabic speech into? The kalima? Ism, and a fi'l, and a harf. Ism is a noun, and the harf is a verb, and the fi'l is a verb, and the harf is a particle. And then we divided the ism into how many? Into three, right? We said ism, which is mudhar, and then we said mudmar, and then we said mubham. And we divided the verb into three: al-madi, al-mudari', and al-amr. We divided the huruf into three: mushtarak, بين الأسماء والأفعال, and مختص بالأسماء, مختص بالأفعال. And we said the mushtarak, for example, is the word hal. It can be used. We didn't do this? Oh, okay. Sorry. I didn't do this last time, صح? Okay, let me explain this then. Ism, we said it's a noun. صحيح? If we didn't do this, then don't worry. Don't write it. Rub it off. Okay. Good. We said ism, fi'l, and a harf. Okay? We don't want to overwhelm you with information. We want it basic and slow and easy. Okay? Arabic speech is what? I don't know why. Kalamatun. Stick this together, okay? It would look like I need to study grammar. It's kalima, okay? The kalima in the Arabic language is how much? Three. A noun, a verb, and a particle. In today's class, I promised last lesson, I said that we are going to study three things about this. صح? And I said three things about this and three about this one. In other words, we're going to have to know three things about a ism, and three things about a fi'l, and three things about a harf. Then and only then can we say we've understood these three. Okay? Does that make sense? So let's start with ism. So I'm just going to rub all of it off, and I'm going to write ism on the top, okay? So ism. Okay, al-ism. The first thing you need to know about an ism is ta'rifuhu. What's the definition of an ism? If you can't define it, there's a problem here. The definition. Ta'rifu means the definition. You need to be able to define a ism. Give a definition to it. Number two, you need to mention aqsamuhu. Aqsamu means its types. How many types of ism are there? You need to know that. And three is alamatuhu, the signs of a noun. What do you mean by the signs of the noun? Means you need to identify a noun. How can you recognize a noun? What are the signs that will give me indication that this is a noun? Okay? Those three is for the ism, and it's also going to be for the fi'l, and it's also going to be for the harf. Does that make sense? All three of them, we're going to do these three. We're going to define it. We're going to mention its types, aqsamuhu. And then we're going to mention alamatuhu, its signs. Meaning, how can we recognize it if we saw it? Let's start with the first. The first thing is ما دل على معنى في نفسه. It is something that has a meaning in and within itself. An ism is something that has a what? ما دل على معنى في نفسها. Okay. ولم تقترن. بأحد الثلاثة. ما دل على معنى في نفسها. It has a meaning in and within itself. The name Muhammad has a meaning in and within itself. Abdullah has a meaning in and within itself. The slave of Allah. Muhammad means what? The one that's praised a lot. Has a meaning. True or false? Each name has a meaning in it. So ما دل على معنى في نفسها. That's the first point. That's point number one. The second part of the definition is it does not indicate time. وَلَمْ تَقْتَرِنْ بِأَحَدِ الْأَزْمِنَةِ الثَّلَاثَةِ. And it doesn't show past, present, or future. It doesn't show the three times where time is. It doesn't show you. A noun doesn't show you past, present, or future. Okay? It is ما دل على معنى في نفسها. It has a meaning in and within itself. Good. But it doesn't show time. And it doesn't indicate time. ولم تقترن بأحد الأزمنة الثلاثة. أما ولم تقترن بزمن. There it is. It hasn't shown what? Any of the times that we know. Meaning the past, the present, or the future. If I wrote Muhammad here, does that show now? Past? So the future? It doesn't. Okay? That's the difference between a verb and a noun. That's it. They both have a meaning in and within themselves. The first part, they're the same. The second part is where a verb goes different. We'll see that inshallah soon. Okay? Now, you are able to define a what? An ism. See? I didn't go into the linguistic definition of the word ism هل هو مشتق من السمو أو الوسم? What's the word ism rooted from? We didn't do that, okay? We want to simplify it. Just take the technical definition. That's what's important to you. Now we're going to go into aqsamuhu, its types. How many types of noun are there? Is there only one? No, there's not. There's three. And I mentioned it at the beginning by accident. There are three types. You see how we're going? 3 and 3, وهكذا. Everything generally is 3 in grammar. The first one is mudhar. Mudhar is like Muhammad and like the word rajul. It's like a name. A proper noun is called in English. A proper noun is mudhar. It's an ism which is zahir, an apparent name. The second type of a ism is mudmar. And it's 3 types. The mudmar, which is ana, anta, and huwa. Does anyone know those 3? Why I wrote those 3? Each one signifies a type of pronoun, which is ana, which is al-mutakallim, anta, which is mukhatab, and huwa, which is al-ghaib. Sah? The second type of a noun is mudmar. Mudmar means pronoun. Then this is the tricky part in the Arabic language when it comes to the English language, which is, in the English language, a noun and a pronoun are 2 equal. Like in the Arabic language, la. A dhamir is part of an ism. You see? Does that make sense? A dhamir, which is mudmar, it's part of an ism. So it's one of the 2 types of an ism. This is, brothers, and sisters, this is very important you understand this class. Because when we go to Babul I'rab, which is the real part of grammar, if you didn't understand this, you will see yourself struggling to understand all of Babul I'rab. It will not make one sense to you at all. You're just going to be confused. Okay? So if you don't understand this one, put your finger up and I'll repeat it for you again. The noun is divided into how many? 3. Mudhar means a proper noun. Like Muhammad. Muhammad is a proper noun. Okay? Rajulun, a man. The reason I chose Muhammad is because Muhammad signifies something for me. Each example I'm giving it has a purpose for me. The word Muhammad is a ism which is mu'arraf, it's known. And rajul is nakira, it's unknown. Both of them are mudhar. Okay? Mudmarna is 3 types. Ana, anta, and huwa. It's a pronoun in English. The third type is called mubham. It's an ambiguous noun. It's an ambiguous noun, vague noun, and it's 2. هذا and الذي. And that also signifies for me what? It signifies something for me, which is هذا is اسم إشارة and الذي is اسم موصول. هذا and anything that comes from it is an ism which is mubham. And الذي and whatever comes out from it is an ism which is mubham. So الذي, التي, اللذان, اللاتي. هذا, هذه, هؤلاء. All of them are what? They are ism known as mubham. Everybody understand this point? Does it make sense to everyone? Next point. Alamatuhu. The signs of a noun. The signs of a what? Of a noun. Again, there are many signs, but I'm only going to stick to the signs that the author mentioned. Okay? I'm just going to stick to the signs that the author mentioned in the book Ajrumiyyah. Some scholars, they said it reaches 30 signs. Okay? I'm just going to mention what the author mentioned. The author, rahimahullah, he categorized the alamat of the ism into two. He divided it into two. So we're going to في أوله. في أوله means what? Signs that go before the noun. So when you see this, what comes after is the noun. Okay? The author mentioned alamat that go before it, and they are two. Two signs go before it. Yeah? They go before the noun. The first one is الألف واللام. يرحمك الله. Alif wal lam, al goes before the noun. Al goes before only a noun. You will never see a verb that has alif and lam before it, or a particle. Al, alif and lam is a unique sign for who? For a noun. The second one is حروف الخفض. Some scholars they call it حروف الجر. صح? Which we're going to see. Letters like min, ila, an, fi, rubba, ba. All of these, they go before the noun. They're called huruf al-khafdi. It's in the book for you. Whenever you see the word fi, whatever comes after it is a noun. Whenever you see the word min, whatever comes out of it is a noun. An, whenever you see it, whatever comes after it, it's a noun. Ila, whenever you see it, whatever comes after it is a noun. These two are signs that go what? Before the noun. They go what? Before the noun. The alif and lam goes before the noun, and huruf al-khafdi go before the noun. Then he wrote, the author mentioned alamat which go what? Alamat that go fi akhirihi. Signs that go at the ending of the noun. Ha. The ba. I didn't write the whole complete ba because it connects the word like that, but look at ba. Okay? There are signs that go at the ending, and there are how many? Only two, the author mentioned. The author only mentioned two. What are they? Khafd. Khafd, we're going to learn it in more details what it means. But it's, for now, just take it as a kasra. Kasra, it's an alama unique for the noun. You will never see a verb that has a kasra. And the kasra happens where? At the ending of the word. Where does it happen? At the ending of a word. Then the alamatul khafdi is a alamun khasun bil asma. It's a unique sign for the noun. Okay? And the second one is at-tanween. And this happens, of course, at the ending, right? Because fi akhirihi is the ending, and fi awwalihi is the beginning. At-tanween. At-tanween. Are we all together? And the tanween, where does it happen? At the ending of the word. And any word that you see that has a tanween in it, it's a what? It's an ism. Straight away you have to recognize it. It's an ism. It's a unique sign. And that tanween is, the tanween, as a side benefit, just so for those who want to take more, the tanween is 4 types that are important. There are more than that, but 4 are the most important types of tanween that you need to know. التمكين التمكين التنكير التنكير العوض and المقابلة. Those are the 4 most famous types of tanween. What are they? We won't take it. It will come to us in Mutammimatul Ajrumiyyah. Ibn Ajurrum didn't mention in his book, so there's no need for us to go into that. التمكين التنكير العوض and المقابلة. It's 10 types. This tanween is 10. Like in these 4 are the most common ones that you generally study. Huh? العوض العوض and المقابلة. Okay? Alhamdulillah, we can say now, if you've understood this, you now know what an ism is. Okay? What do you know? You know what an ism is. We're now going to go into the next one, which is fi'l, and then we're going to go into harf. Before I go into that, has everyone understood this? Is there anyone who hasn't understood? هيا. في آخره هيا. خفض and التنوين. So what I said was the signs of the noun is 2 types. According to the author of this book, he mentioned 2 types of signs of a noun. The first is signs that go before or at the beginning, okay, of the noun, before it, or even at the beginning of the noun. And I said there are 2 types, alif wal lam. So for example, this word, masjid, write it, and then you put the alif and lam at the beginning. You see, it's a sign that goes at the beginning. True or false? It goes at the beginning. Now I know the word masjid is a noun. How do I know it's a noun? Alif and lam is in there. صح? Also, the second type is huruf al-khafdi. Huruf al-khafdi are ila, for example. I took an example of the word ila. Okay. Alhamdulillah. يهديكم الله ويصلح بالكم إلى المسجد. Okay? Okay, now, is this word a noun? Yeah. How many things are in there that you can see that makes it a noun? 2 things which are before it. 1 and 2. You can see the huruf al-khafdi, which is ila, that came before it, and the al, which came before it. صح? Also, there are another sign that will enter, which is, let's not use this example, because it's going to come to us. ممنوع من الصرف. Let's use the word al-bayt. إلى البيت. Hey, how many signs do you have here to know that it's a noun? You have ila, you have al, and you have the kasra. صح? The kasra is a sign. Is it not a sign? Huh? It's a sign. It's a sign. Ila is here, which is huruf al-khafdi. I found that. Alif al-lam is also there. I found it. It's a sign. And al-khafdi. It's a sign. صحيح? By the way, as a side benefit, in the Arabic language, a word cannot have tanween and alif and lam simultaneously. If tanween enters it, alif and lam has to go. If alif and lam enters it, the tanween has to go. Okay? Why? It has something to do with the types of tanween, which we won't go into. Who wants one tricky example for me to explain something just to melt your brain? Who's ready for that this morning? Okay. All these signs I gave for the noun, pay attention to this, yeah? Tricky question. Now we've understood the sign of a noun. Okay, I'm going to give you a noun, and I want you to recognize this noun. Darabtu. The word originally was daraba. Daraba. And the tu is ana. I hit him. Ana in the Arabic language is a what? It's a ism mudmar, right? So the tu is a ism, right? Hey, where's the dalil that it's a ism? Where's the alama of a ism in there? Anyone who answers this question will get a gift from me. The question is, darabtu. That ta by itself is a noun. By consensus of the grammarians. There's no difference of opinion. It's an ism, inshallah ta'ala. Question here. We can't see any of the signs that I taught you today to recognize a noun. Try all the alamat on it to find out if it's a noun. How do we know it's a noun? How can we recognize it's a noun? And what benefit does that have? That's not enough as a hujjah. Huh? It's the damir, like in what makes it a ism. How is that ta a ism? It doesn't have alif lam in front of it. It doesn't have huruf al-khafti there. It doesn't have khafd there. It doesn't have any tanween there. How do I know that this is a noun? That's khilaf amongst the grammarians. It's not ijma. Okay, they can say to you, it's not, it has the meaning of ana in there, but it isn't. It's two. How can it be a noun by itself, just as a two? You see, this is the alama that Ibn Ajrumiyyah didn't mention in his book, which is the best alama of a noun. And in all of the nouns that you ever meet, it's going to have this sign. These can be there or missing. This is why I said the book after Ajrumiyyah is called Mutammimah. It finishes off the things that Ibn Ajrumiyyah left out, which is this ta has a sign called al-isnadu ilayhi. Al-isnadu ilayhi means what? It's not mustalah al-hadith. It means the only thing which things are always brought back to and attributed back to is always a noun. In the Arabic language, the things are always attributed back to a noun. And this is a sign that's tasted, meaning a person would only, it's something you understand, not something you see. Are we all together? And that's the reason why Ibn Ajrumiyyah left it. He didn't mention it as a beginner book. Lakin this is the one that the scholars call it أنفع علامة للاسم. It's the most beneficial sign of a noun, which is things are attributed only to a noun. It's never attributed to a verb, nor is it ever attributed to a particle. Does that make sense? So this hitting is attributed to who? It's to that ta. It's been brought back to that ta. And the fact that the hitting is being brought back to the ta, it shows that it is a what? An ism. We'll expand more on that, inshallah ta'ala, when we go to Mutammimatul Ajrumiyyah, inshallah ta'ala. Because of the, yeah. Sahih, correct. Okay, have you all understood this? Now we're going to go to an ism, okay? Now we're going to go into the ism. The fi'l. Al-fi'lu. Number 1, تعريفه. تعريفه. Hey, what's the definition of a verb? That's the first thing we're going to do, inshallah ta'ala. And the second thing we're going to do, inshallah ta'ala, is أقسامه. And number 3 is علاماته. هيا. It's ما دل على معنى. في نفسها واقترن. You see? بأحد الأزمنة الثلاثة. Because remember, the ism doesn't show time, but this one shows time. So again, it has those two meanings, which is, it has a meaning in and within itself. Okay? And it also what? It also shows one of the 3 tenses, meaning past, present, or future. It shows one of the tenses. أقسامه. How many types is it? It is 3 types. ماض مضارع and أمر. ماض مضارع and أمر. What does ماضي mean? Past tense. مضارع is, it isn't, but we'll just take that for now, okay? فعل مضارع is not a present tense, okay? It isn't. But we'll do that for now. And Amar is a what? We'll say future. Future tense. صح? هيا. تفضل. It is, but since we started tenses, it's better to carry on in tenses because the command, it happens in the future. When someone commands you, you do it after they've commanded you. So it's something in the future, even though it's the near future. But it is a command. صحيح. فعل الأمر is not just a mere future, but it's a future with a command. صح, correct. لكن the مضارع, don't say it's a present tense. Okay? There's a reason why. But just as to make it rhyme and to make it seem formal, do it like this. Like in the mudari', we're going to come to it by itself. We're going to study it later. A bit about it, inshallah ta'ala. Alamatuhu, what is the signs of the verb? The author, rahimahullah, he mentions the alamat of the verb. And he divided it into 2. Alama, which is mushtarak. What does he mean mushtarak? It's shared by. Shared by who? The madin and the mudari'. They share this sign. And that is qad. The word qad, I'm just using the signs that the author mentioned. The word qad, it enters الماضي and المضارع. The قد, it enters the ماضي and it enters the مضارع. When it enters the ماضي, it means it shows التحقيق and التقريب. تحقيق means, it means definite. Indeed, what you reading? You see the word indeed. The word indeed is تحقيق. This is happen. Indeed, it's going to happen. That's when it enters the ماضي. That's what it does. It shows that meaning of indeed. Like when you say the word أفلح, what is it? Past, present, or future? Yeah? Past, right? أفلح has passed, right? قد أفلح المؤمنون means what? Indeed, the believers are successful. Certainly. So when it enters it, it's تحقيق. And it also shows تقريب. تقريب means it's close. Like قد قامت الصلاة. أي قد قارب وقت الصلاة. That's what it means. When the Imam is saying قد قامت الصلاة, it means أي قد قارب وقت الصلاة. The time of the Salah has come close. تقريب, something close. Okay? It enters the مضارع as well, the قد. Okay? It enters the مضارع and it shows التكثير and التقليل. When it enters the مضارع, it shows a lot and it shows little. What does it mean, a lot? قد يجود البخيل. The stingy one can sometimes be generous. That قد means تقليل. Little is he liking, صح? Flip it the other way. قد يجود, he might be generous. أما قد يفوز, أما قد ينجح اللبيب. The one who is smart, a lot does he pass the test. That قد for him is a lot. So the word قد, when it enters the مضارع, based on the sentence, it either shows a takthir, a lot does this happen, or a little does this happen. You put your finger up. No. Indeed, the believers are successful. Are successful. But the meaning that it brings it out is that like they are successful now. الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون. Like the word is past tense. Like in the meaning of future comes out of it. صح? It does. It does. There are many more, but we're just going to mention what Ajrumiyyah mentioned in his matan. The second one is mukhtas. I did. I said, for example, takthir. Takthir means a lot does it happen. The Arabs, they say, قد يجود البخيل. This is taqleel. قد يجود means, jud means to give. The bakhil, the one who's stingy, he might be generous in a situation. أما قد يصدق الكذوب. The liar might tell the truth. He's a liar, he's a compulsive liar, but he might tell the truth. It's little does he tell the truth. The word qad here means little does he tell the truth. Because if he tells us the truth a lot, he wouldn't be called a liar. Does that make sense? Takthir, for example, is قد ينجح اللبيب أما الذكي. The smart one, a lot of the times he passes the test. ينجح means to pass. The qad here means what? التكثير, a lot does it happen. That's what it means in al-mudari'. ينجح is a what? فعل مضارع, right? The second type is mukhtas. By the way, brothers, it's not the job of the grammar to tell you what the word, when it enters that, what it means. It's not their job, the meaning that comes out of it. You just have to focus on the qad, it enters the madi and the mudari'. That's it. This is a side benefit for you. Okay, that Ibn Ajrumiyyah didn't mention. It's a side benefit. That when the qad enters the madi, it benefits these two, or when it enters the mudari', it shows these two or indicates these two. It's a side benefit. The author then mentioned signs which are unique. He mentioned 2, and I'm going to mention 3, because how many verbs are there? Yeah? 3. He only mentioned 2. I'm going to mention 3 because we have 3 verbs in front of us. The first one is al-mudari'. And he mentioned how many signs for it? That it's unique in as-sin and as-sawfa. Sin and sawfa. Sin and sawfa. What does sin mean and what does sawfa mean? Future. What's the difference? Yeah, so sin and sawfa, both of them show future. Like in sin is a closer future and sawfa is a what? Far future. How is that possible? This is the tricky part. Everyone stops here. Like as a grammarian, you have to look more into it. Why is sin close future and sawfa far future? Yeah, Father Suhail. Yeah, sahih, correct. The word seen is only 1 letter. And sawfa is how many letters? 3 letters. In the Arabic language, كُلَّمَا كَثُرَ الْبِنَاء, every time the construction of the word becomes more, زَادَتِ الْمَعْنَى غَالِبًا, the meaning increases majority of the times. So because sawfa has 3 letters, it has to show a deeper meaning than seen. غالبًا, this is the majority of the times. There are exceptions, okay? It's not a قاعدة مضطردة. Then seen shows the future, and sawfa shows the what? The far future. Okay. What about another sign for the mudari'? He didn't mention it, so we're not going to go into another sign. There are other signs he could have mentioned. Adawatul nasbi and adawatul jazmi, he could have mentioned it. Because there are signs for what? The fi'l mudari'. He didn't mention it. And he mentioned al-madi. Fi'l al-madi, فعل الماضي, how many signs did he mention for it? He mentioned 2, right? No, he just mentioned 1. Which is التأنيث الساكنة. تاء تأنيث الساكنة, it's a ta which has a sukoon on it, and it shows a feminine. Like the word قالت. How do I know that the word قال is a madi? Because of the ta ta'nith sakina. This ta ta'nith sakina is a sign for that this word is a madi. I now know this word is a madi, past tense verb, because of this ta. Here, there's an i'tirad, there's sometimes an issue that occurs, which is it sometimes comes as what? قوله تعالى قالت الأعراب آمنا. قالت الأعراب. Where's the sukoon now gone? It's not, and the author said تا التأنيث الساكنة. It's ta, And it is ta'neeth for sure, but there's no sukoon on there. Hey, what happened? لِالْتِقَاءِ السَّاكِنَيْن. There's two sukoons that are going to meet each other. Are we all together? Allah said, قالت الأعراب. So we have قالت الأعراب. This alif is called alif al-wasli. It drops in the Arabic language when two words are connecting. So it doesn't exist when you say it. It's not pronounced. What's going to happen? Sukoon and the sukoon on here are going to both come to each other and they're going to hit each other. In the Arabic language, you can't say two sukoons at the same time. It's a problem. Does it make sense? So then what happens? One of them has to tolerate and change. So then the ta'nith sakina said, I'll compromise. I'll take the sukoon. I'll take a kasra. Okay? But it's still a ta'nith sakina. It's a unique sign for the madi. The thing that the author didn't mention is the what? He didn't mention the amr. He didn't mention the sign of the amr. Ibn Ajrumiyyah didn't mention it. So I think it's necessary for us to mention it as well. Now, but pay attention. The madi, the mudari', either of those two can show it. If a scene enters it, it can show it. If sofa goes before it, it can show it. The ta'nith is sakina. If it goes before it, it can show it. If ta'ul fa'ilayni, ta'ul fa'il, goes before it, it can show it. Meaning it can be either of it. Lakin the amr, the two that I'm going to mention have to both be in it simultaneously every time for it to be an amr. Okay? It can't ever leave it, or else it's not going to be an amr. The first one is دلالته على الطلب وقبوله يا المخاطبة، يا المؤنثة المخاطبة. Two things have to be there. The two things are, number one, دلالته على الطلب. It has to show a request. فعل أمر, it has to be in there a request. You're being requested to do something. Second thing is, it's وقبوله يا المؤنثة المخاطبة. I have to be able to put into that word a ya at the ending to show it that I'm also speaking to a woman. Meaning that word has to be able to convert to a female. For example, I said to someone, قُم. Does it show a request? It doesn't show a request. It does. I'm telling you, stand. I can also say قُومي. I can say that. If it doesn't accept that قُومي, it's not fi'l amr. Are we all together? It's not fi'l amr. What is it called? It's called ismu fi'l amr. Any word in the Arabic language that shows a request, but it doesn't accept the ya al-mu'annathatu al-mukhataba, is called ismu fi'l amr. Ismu fi'l amr. Ismu fi'l amr is a what? Sah. Sah means be quiet. You can never say sahi, never. It won't accept it. So this is not fi'l amr. It's called ismu fi'l amr. It's something else. We won't take it here. Does that make sense? It has to show a request, and it also has to accept ya al-mu'annathatu al-mukhataba. Ta'al, ta'alay. Like Allah said, فَتَعَالَيْنَ أُمَتِّعْكُنَّ وَأُصَرِّحْكُنَّ سَرَاحًا جَمِيلًا. Are we all together? It has to show a request and be able to take and accept the ya al-mu'annathatu al-mukhataba at the end. It has to accept it. If I need to use it, I can be able to use it. Okay, simultaneously, meaning it should be able to show a request and also be able to accept it when that is put in it. Does that make sense? This is now fi'l accomplished. We now know what a fi'l is. Before we move on, does anyone have any questions regarding a fi'l, a verb in the Arabic language. These are the three most important things you need to know about a verb now. And then in the next book, we add more things on it. Okay? Yeah. Qala in the past. Hey? Both of them are the past. Qalat is a past. We're saying it's a past because it's got ya al-mu'athal mukhataba.
But if we say for a female, she said, it's also qalat.
No, we're talking about a female. This is not a male. Qalat is a female said. It's not what a male said. A male says qala only. Okay? Like in the entering of that ta shows that now this is the word which is qala. If you want to speak to a female, what do you say? Qalat. Huh? Qul. It's going to go into al-amr, yes. Quli.
Can you give an example which does not take a ya, or a fail which does not take a ya?
Like sah. Sah. Sah in Arabic language means uskut, be quiet. It shows a request, but it doesn't accept ya al-mu'annath al-mukhataba. Okay, and many other words like that.
So that's not a word then?
Which one? Sah is a word. It shows a request, because it's requesting the person to be quiet. But it doesn't accept ya al-mu'annath al-mukhataba. So it doesn't meet the two conditions that we wanted. So it's not called a fi'l amr. What is it called? It's called ismu fi'l amr. What's ismu fi'l amr? It's another thing. Something else. Don't get too worried about it. It's something else. Are we all together? Hey. Hey, everybody understood this? Yeah, both have to be present. فعل أمر صحيح.
If only dalatul qalb is present, then it's
اسم فعل أمر. Correct. Hey, anybody else? Hey. قالت is for a female. قال بس take the ta. قالوا is mean when a lot of them say it. قالوا is a lot of them said it. For which one? قال. The fact that when you put a ta' marbuta, it will accept ta' marbuta for you. If you want it, you can put it in there and you say, oh, no problem, it works. That is a word. If you want to know the fi'l madi, put a ta' marbuta just to check. Once he accepts it for you, it's a madi. Mudari is a present tense, for now. They make it into future. هذا هو مشكلته. That's the problem with the مضارع. You see, for example, if the word lam goes before the fi'l mudari, it makes it a what? A past. If the word lam goes before fi'l mudari, it makes it a past. If sin or sofa goes before it, it becomes a what? A future. So this is why the scholars, they said, the fi'l mudari, it's a neutral thing. It only becomes whatever is made out of it. It's not in its essence present tense, that moment.
So what we're saying here is that it's not sign of the fact that it can take a scene or a sofa.
Yes.
So if it's a scene or a sofa is there, then yes, it's interpreted as mudari.
صحيح.
If a verb can take it, then that's a sign.
صحيح.
It's not the fact that
Yes. صحيح. It can take it. Yeah, it's accepting of this one. صحيح. Let me correct myself then, okay. You're not always going to find a fi'l mudari that has seen a sofa before it. It's just that you can put it in front of it and it will accept it. Okay. This is a way for you to know and recognize that it will accept it. Does that make sense? To identify. If someone tricked you and said, what's this word? Is it a fi'il madi, mudari, or amr? Put sin or sofa before it. If it accepts it, it's a mudari. If it doesn't accept it, it's not. Okay? There are other things that we're going to see that are even more stronger than what the author mentioned, but we're bounded by him. He's bounding us to these points. There are more things I can give you to recognize the fi'l mudari', and he does mention it later, which is the zawa'id al-arba'a, anaytu, which we'll come to inshallah ta'ala. For now, does everyone understand this? Okay, let me go into the harf. Okay, now we're going to go to al-harf. Number 1. تعريف أقسام علامة. So the definition. Okay, what's the definition of a harf? What's the meaning of a harf? The harf is ما ليس له معنى. The harf that has no meaning. وإنما يظهر معناه في غيره. The harf has no meaning. Its meaning becomes apparent when it's put in a context. Okay? And I kind of touched on that before. And I said the word fi, the word ala. Let's take the word ala for example. Hey, what does it mean? Like just like that. On top, right? What does the word fi mean? In. Okay, let's rub off the word ala. The word fi, right? What does it mean? Fi means in, right? Hey, Allah said in the Quran, قُلْ سيروا في الأرض. قُلْ say to them, Muhammad, siru means travel and tread on, fil ardi in the earth. Did we say in the earth? Why did you change the word fi into ala now? So this is the issue with the huruf. They don't have a meaning. There is no meaning for the word. That's what the mistake that happens to many people is that they look at the fi and they say in. And they come to an ayah, they say, oh, it doesn't mean that anymore. What happened here? So what you should know from the get-go is that the fi is not in. The word fi is whatever the context makes it become. Even though the overwhelming majority of times it does mean in. That doesn't necessarily mean it's always that. Okay? So the word قُلْ سِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ أي على الْأَرْضِ. Are we all together? The meanings of these words, the huruf, are based on their context. The context gives it a meaning. Like by itself, it has no meaning. It has no meaning by itself. So that's the definition for it. ما ليس له معنى. It has no meaning. وإنما يظهر معناه في غيره. And its meaning becomes apparent and clear in what? In a context. In a context. In a sentence. It becomes clear what the word is meant by. Good. أقسام. How many types of harf are there? Huh? We have, again, 3 types, okay? Mushtarak. Mushtarak means what? It's shared. And there's huruf which are mushtarak. بين الأسماء والأفعال. مشترك بين الأسماء والأفعال. Like the word what? هل. Meaning, هل whatever can come after it can be a what? It can be a what? It can be a noun. It can also be a fi'l. قُلْ هُوَ نَبَأٌ عَظِيمٌ. صح? قُلْ هُوَ. هو is a what? What did we say to huwa was? It's an ism. So the word. No. So, قُلْ هُوَ نَبَأٌ is another. I don't know why I got that example. I was using it for the word. قُلْ. هل أتاك. أتاك is a what? فعل. So I took a fi'l, that's an example. هل أتاك. هل أتاك نبأ الخصم تصور المحراب صح؟ هل أتاك. هل ها. So what came after it is what? It's a fi'l, right? And also it can go, a noun can come after it. An example for that is, I want the Quran. هل هن كاشفات ضره. هل هن صحيح. هن is a what? A pronoun. So that's the beauty about it. The word hal, what comes after it can be an ism, and what comes after it can be a what? A fi'l, no problem. It's mushtarak, it's shared by both. The second type of huruf is mukhtassun bil asma. Meaning they're unique. They're unique for the nouns, and this is what? The word fi, for example. Or the word ila. Huruf al-khafdi that we just took. Huruf al-khafdi that we just took. Fi, ila, an, rubba, ba. They are all unique for the noun. We just took it as one of the signs of the noun, did we not? So huruf al-khafdi are all what? Mukhtassun bil asma. The word fi, what comes after it's always going to be a noun. Ila, what comes after it's always going to be a noun. Because it's specific for the noun, this type. And the third one is mukhtassun bil af'al. And this is lam and lan, which both represent what? Adawatul jazmi and adawatul nasbi. Adawatul jazmi and adawatul nasbi are unique for the fi'l. Like the word lam, whatever comes after it's always going to be a verb. Lan, whatever comes after it's always going to be a verb. Then these are the three types of art huruf. Hal is a harf, fi is a harf, lam and lan are huruf. What's the difference? What can fall after it is a noun or a verb. Fi, whatever comes after it can be a what? A noun. And lam and lan, whatever comes after it is only a verb. Okay? How do you, what is the sign of a noun? What's the sign of the noun? The sign of a noun is, that's the sign. Harf, sorry. What's the alama? The sign of a harf. The alama of the harf is 0. So the scholars, they said, how can something exist and not have a sign? It doesn't make sense, huh? So what I mean by this X is, it doesn't have the signs of the noun and the signs of the verb and whatever's left over is harf. Okay? Once you learnt the signs of the noun and the signs of the af'al, verbs, whatever's left over is the sign of a what? A harf, a particle. والحرف ما ليس له علامة فقس على ما أقول تكن علامة. The poet said. والحرف, a harf is ما ليس له علامة, it has no sign. فقس, use my statement as an analogy and stick to it. What's going to happen? تكون علامة, you're going to become a scholar. Okay? Hariri said in his maqamat. No, it's not ism. Oh, sorry. Before I jump. Is attack ism? Yes, no? We're going to come to that. I don't want to confuse the students. I don't want them to get unbalanced. We're going to come to the difference between qalat and the word qalat. That ta is what? Is it a harf? Qalat. Qalat is a harf or ism? The ta. قلت and قالت, both the ta, are they isms? Which one is ism? Don't worry, don't get confused. Inshallah, we're going to come to it, okay? One of the things that destroys grammar is going ahead of yourself. So we're not going to do that, okay? That's what harf is. Harf is the most easiest one for you to all understand. Like it's just easy to identify this is a harf. Generally speaking, people don't struggle. The ones that the people struggle the most with is the verb and the ism. Okay, I want to do something, inshallah ta'ala, and I really want you to all pay attention to this. And I'm going to conclude at this point, but I really want you to all pay attention now, because we're now going to go into this was all an introduction, by the way. Now it starts. This is where Nahwu grammar starts now, okay? All you are just doing now is identifying things. You still haven't studied grammar yet. Now we're going to start. Okay, pay attention. The author, rahimahullah, he now goes into a chapter called Al-I'rab. He goes to a chapter called what? Al-I'rab. So this is the first chapter of the book. The other one was Muqaddimah. It's an introduction. And I'rab, it means grammatical analysis, right? Grammatical analysis. It is that we're going to grammatically analyze words now. إعراب. Don't worry, the author is going to give us وَالتَّغْيِيرُ أَوَاخِرِ الْكَلِمِ لِاخْتِلَافِ الْعَوَامِلِ الدَّاخِلَةِ عَلَيْهَا لَفْظًا أَوْ تَقْدِيرًا. It's going to come to us. Okay? Before we go into that, what is it that we're going to be taking in this chapter, Al-I'rab? What we're going to be taking, as I said, is we're going to grammatically analyze words. The kalima in the Arabic language, we're going to analyze it. We're going to look at it we're going to put it under the microscope. Does everyone understand that? And we're going to look at this word, what is it grammatically? Okay? Here is the most important question, which is, what is it in the Arabic language that's analyzed, that i'rab is done of? We just took in the Arabic language, how many did we mention? We said there is three. We said ism, we said fi'l, and we also said a what? We said harf, right? And then we divided the ism into how much? We said it's what? Mudhar. And we said what? Mudmar. And we said mubham. And the fi'l we divided into how many? Al-Madi, Al-Mudari' and Al-Amr. And the harf we divided into how many? Mushtarak, Mukhtas, Bil Asma', صح? And Mukhtas Bil Af'al, صح? That's what we did, right? What is it that we do i'rab of? What are we going to do i'rab of? What are we grammatically going to analyze? Right? I want you to write this. In the Arabic language, the things that we do i'rab in is ism mudhar. Okay? We also do i'rab of al-mudari'. The rest is, forget it. The rest, no i'rab. Gone. We don't do i'rab of it. The whole chapter of Babul I'rab, all you're going to focus on is ism mudhar and ism mudhari'. The rest are not mu'rab. They are all called mabni. Another chapter. They're all called what? Mabni. Which has nothing to do with the i'rab. So, eliminate this one. Okay? Eliminate it. Get rid of it. The whole of harf, gone. Ism, one is taken. And fi'l, only the mudari' is taken. Now I'm going to do something. Don't worry, I'm going to quickly rub it off. But don't worry, I'm going to bring it back right now. What were the two that we just said right now that we're going to do i'rab of? Two things we said we're going to do i'rab of, right? The first one was what? Ism? Ism mudhar. 6 things come out of it. 6 things come out of the ism mudhar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The fi'l mudari', which is the second thing we do i'rab of. Remember I mentioned it, correct? Yeah? 2 things come out of it. One and 2. What is this 6 from this one? Ism mufrad. Jam'u at-taksir. جمع التكسير. جمع مؤنث السالم. المثنى. جمع مذكر السالم. الأسماء الخمسة. أسماء الخمسة. And the فعل المضارع is الفعل المضارع الذي لم يتصل بآخره شيء and أفعال الخمسة. Those 8 is what we do i'rab of. صح? 6 on this side. So here is 2. And here is 6. 6 plus 2 is how much? 8. جمع مؤنث السالم can say, no problem. It's fine. No nothing wrong with it. Yeah, they're mibni, they stay the way they are. We haven't defined al-i'rab yet, and we haven't also spoken about we also haven't spoken about the signs of the i'rab. We'll leave that for next week. Too much information for today, right? Anyone have any questions? Huh? Any homework? After al-i'rab, there's going to be a lot of homework, inshallah. After this, there's going to start, next class, we're going to be starting taking many examples. Because right now we're starting the book. Now it's grammatical analysis. We're going to start scrutinizing words and giving many examples. So what I'm going to do next lesson, inshallah ta'ala, just to let you know, is I'm going to go through with you ism mufrad, what it means. And I'm going to give you so much examples of ism mufrad. And then jam'u al-taksir. And then jam'u al-mu'annath al-salim. And then al-muthanna. And then jam'u al-mudhakkar al-salim, al-asma' al-khamsa. فعل المضارع الذي لم يتصل بآخره شيء الأفعال الخمسة. I'm going to give you each one what it is. And then we're going to put it into sentences, and then we're going to look at it, inshaAllah ta'ala. This is, I hope, it's making things easy for you guys. It's simplifying it, because again, it's a big book for whoever hasn't studied it before. Okay? I've taught this book more than 50 times. But every time, to be honest, it's tricky how to transit from this class today to next lesson. It's so tricky for a person who hasn't taken it. It's only tricky, but it's not hard. If you open your mind and you try to understand, you'll get it, inshaAllah ta'ala. You'll get it. حرف is ما ليس له معنى في ذاته وما ليس له معنى في نفسها. It doesn't have a meaning in and within itself. وإنما يظهر معناه, but its meaning becomes apparent في غيره, in a context, in something else it becomes clear. Like the word قل سيروا في الأرض. Yes, definitely. Inshallah. When we start going into each one and we start to put it into sentences and we break it down, this is when it becomes a bit tricky, okay? But it's not hard, inshallah ta'ala. When you open your mind for it and you revise, and I'll also encourage you to go online and try to read about it. Don't just come without having read before. Try to read, try to watch videos and classes. There's a lot of videos on YouTube that you can watch. Okay, that go through Ajrumiyyah. Go on those lessons. Come here as a revision. That's what I would encourage you. If you come here and you haven't revised or haven't looked at anything, it might be a bit tricky for you. It might be a bit tricky for you. It's necessary for a student of knowledge to come to a class, especially this class for grammar, and have had some pre-readings, okay? And also a post. After this class, go home and start going over what I mentioned and any other things that you can add on to it, inshallah ta'ala. The best explanation that I can encourage you with is Tuhfatul Saniyah. It's best. Anyone who came after that sharah, they took it from there. Muhammad Muhyiddin Abdul Hamid. Anybody. Hatta Shaykh ibn Uthaymin. That's the best sharah. It's the most classical, the best. And it gives you many, what do you call it, tamareen. It's called Tuhfatul Saniyah. It's also in English, right? It's also in English. There it is, sorry. Tuhfatul Saniyah بشرح المقدمة الأجرمية. This is one of the best طبعات, by the way. مؤسسة الرسالة. Yeah? The author is Muhammad Muhyiddin Abdul Hamid. This is one of the best طبعات. It's called مؤسسة الرسالة ناشرون. Okay? I'll highly encourage you to get this book, inshallah.
Just the beginner one. There is other levels also.
Which one?
This is Muqaddama.
The kitab is called Muqaddimat al-Ajrumiyyah.
This is beginner, so there is intermediate and advanced also.
Yeah, there's a book after it. Yes. Yes, this is like a beginner book for the student. But it's a classical beginner book. So I'd encourage you to buy this one, inshallah ta'ala. Also, it's translated in English. So, alhamdulillah. This book is translated in English. Recently came out as well. I'll encourage you to get it, inshallah ta'ala. I think the tab'a is Darul Arqam, right? Yeah, they published it. So get it, and inshallah ta'ala that with this one. If you literally, if you actually read this and you come to my class will be so easy for you. Because, yeah, it's called Muhammad. Let me write it down on the board. That's the name of the book. And the author is, the author who wrote it, his name is called Muhammad Muhyiddin Abdul Hamid. The publication here is good, so just get the kitab's been published so many times. مؤسسة الرسالة. Yeah, مؤسسة الرسالة. So that's the name of the book, that's the author of the book, and that's the publication. Also there is the English, you can get inshallah ta'ala. I encourage you, if you can get it inshallah ta'ala. What we can do inshallah ta'ala is after every class, there's questions that he put at the end. We can actually do those questions together. And he brings examples. So I can ask you guys to try those examples inshallah ta'ala. There's a section where he asks questions and answers. There's no answers written there, so I can give you the answers inshallah if you can't get it. But generally the answers are from the book itself. Okay? I think everything I said was taken from here. Everything I said, and more is in here. There's more here. I'm just trying to simplify what he's saying. We're studying this one now. So, since we're studying it now, you make sure you get this sharh, inshallah ta'ala. You'll benefit. Yeah, hafadal.
We don't take the other types because the ending is fixed or it's cyclic?
The which ones?
The other types of
Yeah, they're fixed, as I mentioned. They're fixed, they don't change.
They have like only fatha, only kasra, only dhamma.
It's called mabni. It doesn't move. We'll be taking that, don't worry, inshallah, next lesson. Hiya.
What is the best tabaa for
The matan Ajrumiyyah, take with the sharh. This sharh and the matan is good. Yeah, Muhammad. Very good. Abdul Muhsin Qasim did a good job, mashallah. It's very good. Like if you want to memorize it, for instance. Oh, that's good. There's two poetries. I don't know, some people they prefer memorizing poetries, right? Like in a poetic way. I prefer poetry instead of a nathar. Like الكلام هو اللفظ المركب المفيد بالوضع وأقسامه ثلاثة اسم وفعل وحرف جاء لمعنى. For me, that's a bit. If it was more poetic, it would be easier for a person to memorize. So to say كلامنا لفظ مفيد كاستقم واسم وفعل ثم حرف للكلم واحده كلمة والقول عم وكلمة بها كلام قد يؤم بالجر والتنوين والنداء والمسند للاسم تمييز حصل بتا فعلت وأتت ويفعل ونون فعل. This is more simple and easy to memorize because it's poetic, it rhymes, and that's my personal preference. So there is a poetry for Ajrumiyyah written by two scholars. One is Sharafuddin al-Imriti. He made a poetry of Ajrumiyyah. You can memorize that. That's more classic. And there's one that not recently, but it's come out in our modern time, and it's the one by the great Shanqiti scholar who called it Abdu Rabbi. He has another one on it, on Ajrumiyyah, and that's become more accepted in the world today. On Ajrumiyyah. If you can memorize that, good. But again, my advice, don't memorize anything. Okay, don't. When it comes to this, just study Ajrumiyyah very well. Maybe 3-4 times, go over it. Understand it properly. And then go to Mutammimatul Ajrumiyyah, understand it properly, don't memorize it. Then go to Qatrul Nada, understand it, don't memorize it. And then go and memorize Alfiyatul Malik. Khalas. Just use Alfiyah as a memorization, but the rest, study it so deeply and ground yourself in understanding. And the only one that you memorize is Alfiyatul Malik because it's Jami' Mani'. It's comprehensive. It's only 1,000 lines, 16 lines a day. 2 months you can finish it. 2 months. In your chest you have what? The whole entire Arabic. Nahu and Sarf. Alfiyatul Malik is not only Nahu, it's Nahu and Sarf. But the other books, which is Ajrumiyyah, Mutammimatul Ajrumiyyah, Lamiyatul Af'al and Qatrul Nada, those 4 that go before it, so understand it. Go over it 4 or 5 times, 4 or 5 times, 4 or 5 times, 4 or 5 times. And then all you have to just memorize is what? ألفية مالك هذا هو صحيح. Are we all together, brothers? I know a brother who memorized ألفية مالك in 3 days. 3 أيام. He's not Salaf, he's not Tayyib Salaf. 3 days with my 2 eyes I saw him. Sit down and memorize 1,000 lines. I saw another brother who got challenged. We were sitting in a gathering and he got challenged. Basically, there was a competition done in Mamlaka Arabi Saudiya, Saudi Arabia. And Shanaqita, you know the Shanaqita, right? The Mauritanians. Yeah? They memorize everything. So they challenged. They were coming, competitions, just, what book is it? They weren't even prepared. They just ask on the day, what book do you guys want? Okay, and they just read. That's how the Mauritanians are. So there was a competition on Nahu Alfiyat al-Malik. Okay? He's never ever studied La Nahu, wala he's never memorized it before. First time, أول مرة. So they announced it that there's going to be a competition on Alfiyat al-Malik. Student said to him, why are you looking at the billboard? Don't embarrass yourself. Don't even look at the billboard. The Shanaqita are going to come and they're going to memorize. He said, no, I can do it. Why not? He went home. The first day he memorized 500 lines of poetry. Itqanan. He read it on me. Mutqinan. I thought he memorized it before. I said, Wallahi, you never memorized this before. He said, Wallahi, never. The second day, he broke it into 250 and 250 and something. The second and the third day. So second day 250 and then 250 something. That's how he did his 1,000. He went in and he came number 1 in the competition. Number 1, he took it. He took it. So some people are like that. They're gifted. This is hiba min Allah. I don't say we all have it. I definitely don't have that. Nowhere close to that I can memorize 500 lines in 1 day. Abadan. But it's just 16 lines a day. Just 16. That's easy. That's accomplished. That's something a person can accomplish. 16 lines. Today what we took right now, if you go home and just memorize that from Ibn Alfiyah al-Nahu, Alfiyah al-Malik, just do it with the class. Just memorize that portion. Even if you don't understand it, just memorize it. It'll help you. And Allah knows best. Knowledge, brothers, is what you memorize. I'm telling you this. It's hard to just understand with no memorization. It's really hard. There has to be an amount of memorization. Sah? There's been an amount of memorization. I encourage you guys to sit down and we're at a time when people belittle the concept of memorization. They really belittle the concept of memorization. Do I really need to memorize it? They're all in books. They're all online. They're PDFs. Why do I need to memorize? It's actually connected to the understanding. And that's the truth. And Allah knows best. Anything which I have said that was wrong or incorrect is from me and shaitan. And Allah and His Messenger are free from it. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.